hell am I? You have been summoned to the House of Vibes for your vibe check. How do you plead? I don't know what's going on. Confusion is not a vibe. Bring in the first witness. What? Does he pass the vibe check? He appears to be fearful, and fear is not a vibe. Not a vibe. I don't know where I am. He also appears to be angry. Anger is not a vibe. Not a vibe. Bring in the second witness. Mom? Hello, son. Does he pass the vibe check? He pees on the toilet seat and doesn't wipe it up. Not a vibe. Not a vibe. Sometimes I get tired. Tiredness is a vibe. A vibe. But he also doesn't listen to Lana Del Rey when he's sad. Not a vibe. Not a vibe. I prefer Post Malone when I'm sad. Ugh. I've seen enough. What? You have brought hateration and holleration into the stancery, and therefore have failed the vibe check. No! Yes! Mom, this is for your own good, son. No! You have been sentenced to peer pressure, and will listen to Jula Peep for 30 days. No! Where am I? You have been summoned to the House of Vibes for your vibe check. State your name. Kaitlin Bennett. The gun girl? Yes, but I'm also a journalist. She actually just does YouTube. Not a vibe! Not a vibe! I am a vibe! A gun vibe. I've never heard of such a disgusting vibe in my entire life! And are you not the same girl who poo-pooed herself at a party? She poo-pooed herself at a party? She poo-pooed herself at a party. Not a vibe! Not a vibe! Okay, yes, I did poo-poo myself at a party, but that is my First Amendment right. That has nothing to do with the First Amendment. You better be careful. I carry. Not a vibe! Not a vibe! Also, her hair looks like a nesting ground for raccoons. Like our forefathers, I choose not to bathe. Not a vibe! Not a vibe! This is not fair! You liberals are attacking me! This is a riot! Kaitlin Bennett, you have brought hateration and holleration into the stancery, and thus have failed the vibe check! Where am I? You have been summoned to the House of Vibes for your vibe check. How do you plead? I'm a vibe for sure. He appears prideful. Pride is not a vibe. Not a vibe. Hey, I'm supposed to be taken seriously, okay? I have millions of followers on TikTok. Most of his videos are just mediocre dancing. Not a vibe. Not a vibe. Hey, it's not just dancing. I'm also really hot. His lack of humility. It's disgusting. Not a vibe. Not a vibe. Do you guys want to see my nudes? They're pretty good. Needs to be burned with fire. Look, now it thinks it's a rapper. I'm a mouse in a house so bad. It's just as bad as Kaitlin Bennett. And she's a racist. Hey, do you guys want to see me dance in my sweatpants? Not a vibe. Not a vibe. If I'm not a vibe, then explain why 13-year-old girls love me. Okay, now he's just self-roasting. E-boy. You have brought hateration and holleration into the stancery, and thus have failed the vibe check. What? Take your sweatpants. Where am I? You have been summoned to the House of Vibes for your vibe check. State your name. My name is Brickensley. And is it true, Brickensley, that you are a VSCO girl? That's right. I didn't know they actually existed. Not a vibe. Not a vibe. I am so a vibe. Okay, I have a hydro flask. So you paid $30 when the off-brand could have cost $15 at Costco. Uh-huh. It's so frivolous with money. I also buy $50 t-shirts at PacSun. Do they at least fit you? No, I buy them 8 sizes bigger. Not a vibe. Not a vibe. Why does it sound like a sprinkler system? I believe it is laughing. Not a vibe. Not a vibe. You guys are just jealous because I don't bathe. What do you do instead? I just cover myself in perfume, and then I put on my puka shells. It is abhorrent! Thank you, I go to the gym to show off my butt to old men. You have brought hateration and holleration into the dancery, and thus have failed the vibe check. Where am I? You have been summoned to the House of Vibes for your vibe check. State your name. I am coronavirus. The super infectious disease? That's right, baby. Who let him in here?
Not a vibe!
Not a vibe! I am a vibe, okay? It's called population control. Killing people is not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
That's, not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
Well, I think I am a vibe.
Not a vibe.
That's not a vibe.
Not a vibe! You only believe you're a vibe because you're a virus. And viruses are not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
All I did was infect a couple thousand people.
Disgusting.
That's not a vibe.
Where am I? You have been summoned to the House of Vibes for your vibe check. State your name. I'm BYU. The university? Yes. And is it true, BYU, that you told LGBTQ plus students that they could date without punishment 3 weeks ago? Yes. Gay dating is a vibe. A vibe! But they redacted that statement last week. Not a vibe. Not a vibe! Look, we're a church school. We just don't want homosexual activity on our campus. Homophobia is never a vibe. Never a vibe! Look, the students signed the honor code. They know what they agreed to. But you took the homosexual section out, did you not? Yes. So if they are no longer agreeing to it, then how can they be punished for it? They agree not to be homosexual. In their hearts. Look, we are going to handle it on a case-by-case basis. What you are doing is being vague. And being vague is not a vibe. Not a vibe! Wait, what? BYU, you have brought hateration and holleration into the dancery, and thus have failed the vibe check. Gay rights. Where am I? You have been summoned to the House of Vibes for your vibe check. State your name. Karen? And is it true, Karen, that you've been buying all the toilet paper at Costco for the past 3 weeks? It is. It has no regard for anyone but itself! It's selfish. And selfish is not a vibe. Not a vibe! I am a vibe, thank you very much. You guys are just jealous because you're immigrants. Apparently it's also racist. Racism is never a vibe. Never a vibe! Look, I'm just trying to be prepared for the coronavirus. So are other people, darling. Plus you bought all the hand sanitizer. What if someone gets coronavirus because of that? I'll cure them with my essential oils. It's so ignorant. That's it. I'm going to speak to your manager. There are no managers here, darling. Only vibes. And you, madam, are not bringing them. Karen, you have brought hateration and holleration into the dancery, and thus have failed the vibe check. No! Put her with Kaitlin Bennett. Oh, where am I? You have been summoned to the House of Vibes for your vibe check. State your name. I am a Russian hacker. And is it true, hacker, that you hacked Dan Bam Bam's Instagram account? Duh. Deleted his account? Duh. And made him rename himself to Dank Ass Daniel? Correct. What a foul creature! Hacking is not a vibe. Not a vibe! I am a vibe, okay? I was one of the hackers that got Donald Trump elected. So immoral! Burn it with fire! Donald Trump is not a vibe! Not a vibe! He is a vibe! For Mother Russia. First you get Donald Trump elected, and then you take Dan Bam Bam's Instagram account away. You, sir, are not a vibe! Not a vibe! Wait! Russian hacker! You have brought hateration and holleration into the dancery, and thus have failed the vibe check. No! Plus you took my Instagram account away from me and made me change my @ Not a vibe! Not a vibe! No! Follow my new Instagram account. It's a vibe. Bro, where am I? You have been summoned to the House of Vibes for your vibe check. State your name. I'm a spring breaker, dude. And is it true, spring breaker, that you decided to go to the beach even though you were told to stay inside during coronavirus? That's right. Why is it so imbecilic? Aren't you afraid you're going to catch it? Dude, the only concern I have about corona is the alcohol poisoning. Am I right? You are wrong. Very wrong. Not a vibe! Not a vibe! What's your problem? I just want to party. Under the right circumstances, the want to party can be a vibe. A vibe! But you are endangering thousands of lives with your ignorance. Not a vibe. Not a vibe! Dude, it's only killing old people. A life is a life, and living life is a vibe. A vibe! Your moronic and egotistical attitude removes the choice in that situation. Not a vibe. Not a vibe! Bro, chill. Spring breaker! You have brought hateration and holleration into the dancery, and thus have failed the vibe check. No! Release the hounds!
Where am I?
You have been summoned to the House of Vibes for your vibe check. State your name.
Marigold Sprout.
And is it true, Marigold, that you chewed the wiring in your owner's house and made her get electrocuted?
That's 100% accurate.
He has no regard for his owner or his teeth. Purposeful electrocution of friends is not a vibe. Not a vibe.
I can't help it. I'm a rabbit. I'm just being myself.
Being yourself is a vibe. A vibe.
I also eat my fruits and vegetables.
Eating fruits and vegetables? What a vibe. What a vibe.
And I'm also adorable, and I have this cute hula outfit.
Aww. He is adorable, and his outfit's an absolute vibe. An absolute vibe.
Thank you, I know.
Marigold Sprout, you have brought nothing but love and joy into this dancery, and thus have passed the vibe check.
Yeah!
Bring out the carrot cake.